The Pritzker Prize for the year 2025 was just announced, and the winner is Liu Jiakun. But why was he chosen? What makes his work worthy of one of the highest honors in architecture? The answer perhaps lies in 4 words: community, tradition, craft, and memory. In trying to understand why he won the Pritzker, we might just uncover what is the role of architecture in the 21st century. Today in this video, we'll be looking at the story of a man for whom design is as much about the past and about tradition as it is about the future. In trying to understand why exactly he won the award, we might just uncover what architecture can do for the public at large and how we can still hold on to our roots while creating spaces for the next generation. So today, let's dive deeper into the life and designs of the Pritzker winner for 2025, Liu Jiakun. Now, before we talk about the Pritzker Prize, I want to take a moment to talk about the sponsors of today's video, D5 Render. Now, D5 has quickly become the go-to render software for industry professionals, and there's a good reason for it. D5 was already at the top of its game, offering a next-level real-time experience to help architects and designers bring their visions to life. But it reached even newer heights when it became the first in the industry to integrate AI features into rendering workflow. Today, it is trusted and used in 8 out of the 10 largest architecture firms in the world. The previous updates have already made this software super packed with features like terrain presets, AI style transfers, and the most popular, easy phasing animations. But now D5 has released their version 2.10. This latest update includes even more AI features like post-processing motion blur and in-painting. But also it has done what no other product out there is offering at the moment. And that is the real-time path tracing solution. This new feature will help you balance efficiency and the quality of your renderings. With this new update, D5 can truly take your renders to a whole new level. So if you're an architect or a designer, you need to check out D5 for your next project. Their community version is completely free to use, and I have left a link in the description below. Do check out D5 Render today. And now let's get back to this year's Pritzker Prize. Now, to understand Liu Jiakun's work, we first need to look at his roots. He was born in 1956 in China. All of his immediate family members were physicians. In fact, his mother, who used to work at a hospital, would often take him along to her work. But even though he was surrounded by a world of medicine and science, he always felt a calling towards the arts. And so from a very young age, he developed an interest in drawing and literature. Looking at this interest of his, one of his professors suggested to him to pursue architecture, and he liked the idea and pursued it. And so in 1981, he graduated as an architect. At that time, China, which in previous years had been in turmoil, had begun rebuilding, and Liu joined in on those efforts. He had first volunteered to temporarily relocate to Tibet, which is the highest region on earth, to work for the people there. He worked on his architecture projects by the day and his literary works by the night. And while he did feel the pull towards his craft and his art, he slowly started to feel boxed in by the prescribed social aesthetics of architecture. In fact, he almost gave up on the profession. But then in 1993, everything changed for him. He attended a solo exhibition of Tang Hua, a former classmate from university. This exhibition at the Shanghai Art Museum showed him that he too could deviate from the classical aesthetics. The exhibition reignited his passion for the profession. He understood how built environment can serve as a medium for personal expression. After this, he started thinking about the true role of architecture and started debating with his contemporaries what is the purpose and power of this profession. In the year 1999, he established Jiakun Architects, and now he started to incorporate his newfound sense of design into the field. Now, over the years where most architects develop a style of working, Liu's projects all seem quite distinct from each other. As the Pritzker announcement states, beyond knowledge and technique, common sense and wisdom are the most powerful tools he adds to the designer's toolbox. But what does this really mean? The answer perhaps lies in his projects. In the project titled West Village, which was built in China in 2015, he pushed the residential and commercial areas towards the edge of the block, creating a vast open space inside. This space, which is divided into different functions like football fields, parks, and sloping pathways for pedestrians and cyclists, invites the public in, creating a shared space for the community in the middle of a densely packed neighborhood. Through the power of design, he is able to create a new cultural and recreational space for the people of the area. The jury also praised his ability to not only be connected to, but take inspiration from his roots, reinterpreting them for the current time and place. This is most evident in the Suzhou Museum of Imperial Kiln Brick. The beautiful museum creates some fantastic and beautiful spaces inside, creating a sense of wonder and delight. However, if you take a look at the museum here in its flat eaves, you can see an interpretation of the Chinese pavilions built almost a millennia ago. Something similar can be observed in the tiered balconies of Novartis, which are reminiscent of towers representing many dynasties, and even the stone sculpture art museum, which is modeled after a traditional Chinese garden. He takes traditional Chinese architecture and planning techniques and incorporates them into his modern structures. Now, in all his designs, instead of mainstream manufactured products, he prefers traditional craft and often uses raw, local materials that sustain the economy and environment. It is truly built for and by the community. Let me tell you one of my favorite things done by the firm. In 2008, there was an earthquake in Wenchun that devastated the area. His firm worked with the locals, where the rubble from the damage was upcycled and strengthened with local wheat fiber and cement to produce fortified bricks with greater physical and economic efficiency than the original. These were called rebirth bricks, and these can be found extensively throughout the Novartis building, the Shujingfang Museum, and the West Village. After that devastation, he also created a memorial. Called the Hu Huishan Memorial, this concrete structure was made to resemble a makeshift tent similar to those which are erected after such disasters. This memorial, which was built in the memory of a young girl, contrasts the raw concrete exterior with pink and bright interiors. It is the room of a young girl, a girl who could not make it through this disaster. It's her life, her memories captured in this space. It's beautiful, but it's also haunting at the same time. This small museum impacts you deeply because it truly makes you understand what is lost during such disasters. In this project, he was able to create a small, unimposing structure that has the ability to evoke a huge sense of grief and resilience. As Tom Pritzker, the chairman of the Hayat Foundation, remarked, Liu Jiakun uplifts through the process and purpose of architecture, fostering emotional connections that unite communities. There is wisdom in his architecture, philosophically looking beyond the structure to reveal that history, materials, and nature are symbiotic. In all his projects, there is a thought, a simple idea, but a deep dialogue. With each project being so different from one another, one thing that binds all of his work together is his care for the users. How they use the space, their community, their traditions, their history, and their identities, both as an individual and as a collective. His architecture only feels complete once users are a part of it. Of late, the Pritzker winners have all thought about the greater importance and purpose of the profession. It's not just about the quality of spaces, but how they integrate the community with it and also how they impact it. A lot of people do not agree with this direction of the Pritzker Prize. But what do you think? And what do you think about Liu Jiakun winning? Let me know in the comments below and let's have a discussion. Before you leave, do check out D5. Sponsors like them help me make this content for you guys. And I genuinely love their software. Do check them out, the link is in the description. Also, do subscribe to Blessed Hour for more such videos and do give it a thumbs up if you liked it. I'll see you guys soon with another video discussing and debating architecture.